Hello and welcome back to the Who Cares Anyway podcast. We are live and it is Friday night-ish, more like mid-afternoon well, I mean, you kind of can't tell though, because if I were to look outside right now like I am, it's getting pretty dark already, but that's wintertime, there's snow everywhere, and the weather kind of sucks, but it's not like I can expect anything better, though. Case, who is also on the call with me here tonight, I'm Chris Dohmen, as always. Finally live. It's been like 2 weeks. Where the hell have I been? Oh, yeah. I've been on everywhere. But obviously, like I said, it's not just me tonight. I, of course, have the one, the only Kees Cornelisse, birthday boy from last week. Dude, what is up? How are you doing this Friday?
I'm doing pretty well. I had a shorter work day than usual because of the fact that there's a Christmas party at my work,
Nice.
but I don't want to go there because then I have to cycle 30 minutes through cold, and I wanted to spend the night with my girlfriend, of course, celebrate weekend early. So yeah, I was off very early. I also had to start very early, but I took a nap, so I'm able to stay up.
Yay.
Uh, Anywho, I just watched Marriage Story. Yeah, we really wanted to watch that because of the nominations that are coming out. We'll talk about that later. And my God, that is a great movie. It is my second favorite movie of the year as of right now. So seriously, I would recommend to everyone to check it out. Mostly because of Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, because they might win an Oscar for it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to finally, just bullshit around a little, talk some news, have some rants, have a beer or two with it. So this is gonna be fun.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, guys, rest assured, I've gone 2 weeks without ranting on camera. I'm overdue. And there couldn't be a more perfect week for me to get into that and really have at it. But we're going to save that for right now because unfortunately, there are a couple things that happened that I wanted to just quickly say my piece on. As far as some unfortunate passings that happened recently, I just want to quickly address that, starting with Danny Aiello, who you guys might have recognized him from his work in like Godfather Part 2, Hudson Hawk, so many movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and even into the last couple decades. And he's also did a lot of great TV work. Obviously, sir, thank you for everything you've done. We appreciate you and your entire career. And speaking of a story that we'll get into a little bit later regarding Sesame Street, Carol Spinney, the original operator for Big Bird and the original voice for Oscar the Grouch, who was working as recently as this year, if I'm recalling correctly, sadly has also passed away. And look, I'm totally an Oscar the Grouch kind of guy. Oscar was the best character. That there's like no argument there. It was either Oscar or Cookie Monster, and Oscar kind of was the best character. Period. You know, if you were told to rise for the Grouch anthem, he'd tell you, "No, that's not how you do it. You sit down for the Grouch anthem." So I just had to get this on my chest to say, Carol, thank you so much for everything, and we will miss you terribly. And then finally, as a Trekkie, this one really hurts. This one really hurts me, and that is the passing of legendary French actor Rene Auberjonois, who, of course, in the Star Trek world was known as Odo from Deep Space Nine, but Disney fans would know him as the chef, the crazy ass chef from The Little Mermaid, who was awesome. Avatar fans would know him as the professor from season one at the Northern Air Temple. Roland Emmerich fans, you'd know him as the Reverend from The Patriot. Like,
Wait. Roland Emmerich fans exist?
hey, he's made a couple good films. That's it.
No, no.
A couple. Fine, one. He's made one good film.
Sure, I haven't seen it.
I'd say it's actually worth your time. But still, as someone who has watched Deep Space Nine and seen a lot more of this guy than I realized, and the fact that he died from lung cancer, that sucks.
Fuck you, cancer.
Fuck you, cancer. You horrible fucking thing.
Okay.
So I just need to get that off my piece. Oh shit, Brian Nussbaum, I see you're in the chat. What's up, brother? China Sticks Captain reporting in for duty. And he actually gives off a very fun thing here. He is campaigning for Gordon Ramsay to play the chef in the live-action Little Mermaid remake.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You fucking donkey.
I don't know. I can imagine him going to Eric and like take two pieces, take like, two croissants and be like, "What are you? An idiot sandwich."
Yes.
Yes, Brian, tell us where we can sign up for that because we'll sign up. That's yep. That's great.
Notification.
Oh, goodness. All right. Moving on to the next bit of news, just to get away from some of the sadness. Shazam. I love that movie. Like, I actually love that movie. DCEU, you finally got it right. Good job.
Okay, they got a couple of right before Shazam, but it seems to kind of be the one universally loved movie.
Yeah, it's the one that like you'll find the least amount of people bitching about.
Yeah.
You know? And as soon as it came out, I was actually like, all right, when's the next one? And I was waiting and waiting and waiting for an announcement, but it looks like Warner Brothers has finally pushed it forward to come out in April of 2022. And while on the one hand I think that's almost too long, I actually realized that's only a few months before Black Adam. And I'm like, oh.
Crossover?
That and I think that's why, is they're essentially going to use Shazam 2 to introduce Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam and then give him his own film later on in the year, which to me, that makes perfect sense. Case?
Yeah, of course. Look, I very much enjoyed Shazam, mostly because this movie does what actually all the DCU movies should have done, really. It does an origin story with the MCU formula, and that's not a bad thing. That's something that the DCU was scared of for fucking ever, because they were like, no, we need to compete with the MCU but not be the MCU. And you get Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad and Justice League, and it's like, yeah, are you fucking kidding me? No. When does the DCU thrive? When they do standalones. Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and now Shazam. Those are the movies that are good. And it's like, why didn't you do that earlier? Anyway, they finally figured it out. Finally, Shazam, we have it. It's a good movie. And yeah, I was also like, after that movie ended, I want a sequel. I want to see where these characters go next and what happens next. And yeah, if they can cross over with Black Adam, please. So I'm looking forward to it. And Shazam came out last year, right?
This year.
Oh, this year even. Okay. Then it's 3 years. 3 years is not that big of a gap. I mean, it used to be the gap for Star Wars movies.
It did used to be, but I mean, for better or for worse, the longest I'd say a gap truly exists between sequels these days is now 2 years, just to sort of keep the hype, alive. It's a little easier.
Okay. There are exceptions to the rule, like in Incredibles 2 or Frozen 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Those have a lot more of a gap and still did well. Okay, to be fair, that is animated, but still.
Well, no. To go off your example, take a look at John Wick.
Yeah.
There was 3 years between Chapter 2, and Chapter 1, but
and then 2 years.
Yeah, and then and then it was 2 years between Chapter 3 and Chapter 2, but still, yeah, no, you actually no, you got a point. 3 years isn't that bad.
Isn't that big. It can be bigger, it can be smaller. True. That's really all you can say about that.
And I think I'm only just a little bit worried if the next couple of DC films just don't do as well as Shazam did. Because if they don't,
Shazam didn't do too well at the box office.
All things considered, it wasn't Aquaman numbers, sure, but it still made a profit and was still a massive success with the critics. So,
well, critics and fans, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing, and that's what I think DC should focus on. Not make movies that get box office. Make movies that people like, so that they also come back to your movie. There's a reason that Justice League, in its entire run, made as much as Avengers: Infinity War in its opening weekend.
Isn't that just funny?
Yeah, it is.
It's just hilarious. Brian Nussbaum asks, will Shazam 2 be set during Christmas again? Honestly, I don't want it to.
Doesn't need to, it could, but
I mean, if it
just
is, cool. But I'd like to see those characters in like a summer setting. See what that's like.
yeah. To be fair, I don't feel like Christmas adds anything to the first movie.
Yeah, not really. Like, it's like okay. And I'm only saying this just because
It's like Die Hard.
kind of, except it's a little bit better used. Like Christmas is a little bit better used in Die Hard than it is in Shazam. But
No, that's true.
yeah.
But in the end, both movies are set during Christmas. But if you set it during a different time, it wouldn't change the plot of the movie.
True. Which, yes, now I think about it, that's also the case with Jaws: The Revenge. Why am I thinking about that movie? Because I've seen that movie way too many times. Anyway.
What is wrong with you?
Sometimes I like crap, okay?
I think.
I love Attack of the Clones, dude.
Yeah. Drink.
Gladly.
Because I need to watch that movie tomorrow, and I'm gonna drink so hard.
I will be actually watching that tomorrow myself.
Yeah, how about that?
At some point. Yep. Except I'm going to force myself to do it sober so I can retain the knowledge for trivia.
Yikes and a half.
What can I say? I want those belts. I want all the belts. And I'm going to get a belt at some point next year, god damn it. Since, someone else on this call gets to go for the Star Wars trivia face-off before me.
Yeah, I have 2 people to go through first.
You'll make it happen. I know you will.
But here's the thing: if I actually win that belt, I want my first title of defense to be against you, because that's how it should be.
That's how it should be. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just as long as I don't get any questions like how many shots does Han shoot towards Vader in Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
The
by the way, I got that right.
Of course you did. All right.
I caught it in my head. I know the scene.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing I'll never understand. I hear 5 shots. I only see 4, so I write 5, but I'm still wrong.
It's 4. I also hear 4.
Whatever.
This is different discussion for a different time.
Different discussion. Yeah, I'm just rambling here at this point. Okay, because we still have actually a lot to get into.
Stay on target.
Yeah, because I literally just got done watching that movie. So, one last bit of Warner Brothers news that actually kind of makes me a little bit sad, but I'm gonna assume it's for the right reasons. Where early in the year we talked about how there was a Sesame Street movie that was announced for 2021, sort of in the vein of 2011's The Muppets, where it was essentially going to sort of revive Sesame Street in that more comedic and musical fashion. But it's looking like they're going to push that now to winter of 2022, and I'm like, damn. If you're pushing it that far back, I'm going to hope it's because you really found someone really talented behind the scenes and you want to stick with that person, and that's their earliest availability. Otherwise, this thing's going to bomb to shit. And I really don't want that. But that's just me. Any thoughts there, Case?
No, I'm not going to see this movie anyway.
Fair enough. All right. Then moving on to the next piece of news where, again, speaking of Star Wars, one of 3 movies in the series that are sitting in the Library of Congress. Every year, 25 films across the history of cinema are selected by the Library of Congress to be officially restored and added to the library for cultural significance. Like, every year they pick 25 movies that they deem are important enough to the history of cinema, to the history of America, or the world as a whole to be put in the library and are kept, obviously, forever. And I'm looking over some of the movies that got picked for this year, and I'm a little shocked by some of these.
Yeah.
Because some of these I think are very deserving, like Amadeus.
Of course.
I think that absolutely deserves to be in there. Boys Don't Cry, the movie that won Hilary Swank her first Oscar, I think it totally earns it. Clerks, I think, totally earns it. Coal Miner's Daughter, even Gaslight. But then I'm looking at some more of these, and I'm like, Old Yeller? Really? Purple Rain? Really? Sleeping Beauty?
Fucking really?
I mean, I love the movie, but
Platoon is also good.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying that they're bad picks, but I'm just shocked, like, that these are the movies that the Library of Congress wants to put in to keep forever.
It's weird. It's a weird list.
Quite and of course, the rest of the movies I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen the Phoenix City Story. I haven't seen A New Leaf or My Name Is Una. And Platoon. I'm very shocked.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Again, I'm shocked that's getting in there because, like, Oliver Stone kind of gives America the middle finger with that movie. And especially given the current administration, I'm surprised that they would select such a controversial film in. But hey, I guess that's the one good thing about the administration because, it's campaign time again. And a certain president of ours has decided to say that he is truly evil and is currently inserting himself into clips from Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame in the role of Thanos to campaign for re-election. Trump, go die in a hole. Fuck you, sir. Like, are you aware that Thanos is the bad guy? Are you aware that Thanos is someone we're supposed to actively root against?
No. Thanos is the most popular character of those movies, and it's focused on him. And he actually has a really good point that people are able to see. But fuck you, Trump, because you're a fucking idiot. And yes, he is the bad guy. Anyway, that's
yeah.
What a fucking idiot is this guy? How did he get elected in the first place? I will never know.
Because racists just wanted to vote for a white guy.
Plus Hillary fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I think Bernie Sanders wouldn't last 3 days in the Oval Office, but I would have rather voted for him over Trump.
I'd vote for Oprah Winfrey over Trump.
Hell, Kees, I'd vote for you over Trump.
Well, thank you for that. World is going to shit, but...
Well, I mean, in fairness, it's just that, we'd be having less remakes and whatnot, and more original movies if you were around, so...
Yeah. Less remakes, yeah. I'm for that.
But yeah, I just have to ask, like, how insane do you have to be to A, try to use this footage without permission, B, try to use it for a political campaign, C, think you can get away with it when you did the same thing with Queen's music, which, again, you use without permission. You did the same thing with Journey's music, which, again, you use without permission. Like, is your campaign just full of incest babies? Because I'm pretty sure that your campaign's full of just incest babies who have no intelligence.
To answer your question, you need to be as insane as someone who wants to wipe out half of the universe. He makes a good point. He is Thanos, but that's not a good thing.
No, it's not. Like, Thanos is a great fictional character.
He's a great
Because,
fictional villain.
yeah, because somebody should not actually identify with Thanos. Sure, you can say he was kind of right in his plan, but at the
He
end of the
was.
day, you're not supposed to agree with him.
The thing is, the idea of his plan was solid, and that's why you sympathize with him and you relate to him, and you're like, he actually has a point. But the way he goes about it and he just kills everyone, yeah, no, there's something wrong there. I don't know what, but there's something wrong there, I feel.
Could it be genocide? Oh yeah,
It's genocide.
I think it's genocide. Oh. Okay. So before I go on my million-mile tangent, because I'm saving up the anger. I'm saving it up for the end of the show because,
But we
whoo,
will end on a better note.
oh yeah, we will. Oh yeah, we will. So, with that said, let's start getting into some trailers because holy shit, a bunch of them dropped,
Yeah.
and we haven't talked about them.
No, we have not.
So, let's start this off going back to the topic of the DCEU with Wonder Woman 1984. So, on the one hand, I'm a little bothered that we don't actually see Kristen Wiig as Cheetah in the trailer. But on the other hand, Diana rides the lightning. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Look, I love the first Wonder Woman, so of course I'm excited for this movie. But Case, did you get a chance to check out Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah, we checked it out. I like the first Wonder Woman minus the third act because the third act is extremely CG heavy, and unfortunately, there were some very CG shots in this trailer. And unfortunately, I felt this trailer wanted to do way too much to make people excited about the DCU again because they know that people are not excited for the DCU in general. Now, yeah, the first Wonder Woman is a good movie. It's a really good movie, and there's a lot of things that it sets up for a potential sequel. I still have major questions about Chris Pine coming back.
Same.
Like, how does he fit in this movie? Um, we'll see about that. There were some awesome shots, awesome things that happened. If you put Blue Monday in any trailer, I'll dig it because yeah, I love that song. So I was down with that. But yeah, I felt that they wanted to show way too much with the first trailer because this is the first. This is not a second. This would be a final trailer to me. I feel they showed a lot. They had a lot of glimpses, blah 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 blah, blah going on. It was quite a long trailer. I felt it should have been a shorter trailer where you just show a couple of things and then maybe at the end show, oh, Chris Pine is back. Have a reveal, and then people are going to speculate, like, how does he come back? Right now, I feel like they gloss over that a little. Like, oh, Chris Pine is just back and cool, whatever. How? Explain this to me because I still don't like. He died. We saw him die. The plane blew up. Spoiler for Wonder Woman, by the way, but you should have seen it because it's 2 years old. So I have questions. I really have questions, and I hope this movie is great, but I have some doubts as well.
And that's unfortunately where I'm kind of at as well. Like, no, and you're absolutely right about how they should have handled the Steve Trevor situation. Like, put him in at the very end of the trailer, so that way we could all just be like, kind of like actually, kind of like Justice League and how they have that one trailer where Alfred's talking to who we presume is Superman, but we don't, we're left guessing, we're left speculating. But you're also right when, Blue Monday kind of fits a lot of things because it's a great song.
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
I think that movie is but the song, yes. Oh, yes.
It's an absolute staple of the 80s that does not get enough love. Yeah. Bottom line, at least for me, is I'm excited, but just like yourself, I'm nervous.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes, there we go. And I think that's kind of how I describe myself for the upcoming Ryan Reynolds film, Free Guy. which I didn't realize it at first, but I'm like, oh shit, this movie is basically Ready Player One meets Wreck-It Ralph. It's just Ryan Reynolds instead of Ty Sheridan and Taika Waititi instead of Ben Mendelsohn, maybe? That part of the trailer was a little unclear what his role is, but then again, it's Deadpool and Korg in a movie together. So I'm very cautiously optimistic that it's not going to be just a laugh fest and that there's going to be something more to this movie. But I'm curious. This sounds fun. Did you catch this one, Case?
I did not.
Okay.
So, what I'm hearing, I'm like, interesting. There's potential. This could also be a shit fest.
And that's what I think that Michael Bay, Ryan Reynolds film Six Underground, that's going to be a shit fest. But
Okay, that seems split because 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, that's not very good. But 71% audience score and 7.3 in IMDb is like, maybe this is just a fun popcorn movie that critics won't like. I'm not sure.
So, actually, yeah, 'cause I remember coming across a comment where I think someone tried to say that it was essentially Bad Boys, but done whiter. Which I don't know if that's true.
They're not wrong, I feel.
I guess. Maybe. But still. Oh, shit, yeah. Brian Nussbaum reminded me. Yeah, that's right. We have seen Korg in Deadpool in a movie before. Duh. Green Lantern.
Yikes.
Yep.
Can we now get a good version?
Please?
Please?
I would hope so. And speaking of a please be good, let's talk No Time to Die. Start us off, sir. What'd you think of the trailer?
It's okay. Look, there's a reason that there's a Bond poster behind me. I adore Bond. I've seen all the movies several times, and yeah, I think a lot of them are really good. There are some shit boxes in there. Quantum of Solace, most recently, and that's a Daniel Craig movie. So yeah, I think what they showed with this trailer, it is a Bond movie, but I still don't know if this is the good kind of Bond movie because you could get like that's the thing. Daniel Craig has done Casino Royale, and a lot of people love Skyfall, but he's also done Quantum of Solace.
And depending on who you ask, for Spectre.
Look, I like Spectre, and I think that overall that movie is considered fine at least. But yeah, there are some bad. I mean, heck, Die Another Day is not particularly good, and that has Die in the title. So there are movies in the Bond franchise that aren't particularly good. Maybe still enjoyable. Quantum of Solace wasn't though. Quantum of Solace just sucks. But like I get some entertainment value out of Die Another Day. So if this is a Die Another Day, then I'm like the movie's not good, but I'm gonna enjoy it at least. We'll see about it. I think that the trailer does show that it at least has some interesting ideas for a Bond movie, typical Bond-esque imagery, like with the mask and Rami Malek. I feel would be a good typical Bond villain. So in that regard, I feel okay. That's going in a good direction. But there are a lot of shots in this trailer. It's quite a long trailer that I'm like, not 100% sure on this one. I hope it's good.
I absolutely love the structure of the trailer. I love how it's put together. But if I have to be honest with myself, I'm just worried that this movie's going to break the odd number Craig streak. Because I honestly think that Casino Royale and Skyfall, despite
are his best.
Yeah, they
those two are his best. Yeah,
they're easily his best, and I would even argue that while I have personal issues with Casino Royale, I still think that those two films are two of the best Bond films. Period.
Yeah,
and I want this third, I want his fifth film to sort of be in that same caliber, and I just I'm just scared because like I hear the story about how it's gonna be like Bond now has a team up with Blofeld to take out an even bigger threat, and that being Rami Malek, who, of
Mm.
course, as an actor, I think he can totally bring it, but simultaneously, I'm also very scared because I love me some Jimmy Bond, but I. Mm, I'm about as cautiously optimistic as one can possibly get.
Yeah, yeah,
You
pretty
know,
much.
because Spectre, I did rewatch a little bit of Spectre while I was on vacation. Actually, it was just on TV, and I'm like, you know what? Here, I'll turn it on. I wasn't compelled by a single second of what I saw, and it was granted it was during a slower moment. But still, I'm just like, oh man.
I like the movie.
And you know what? Actually, I think I would like Spectre better if it didn't do the one thing that I think was a complete disservice to Blofeld's character. When at the end he does the whole finish it bit. I'm like, Ernst, that's not how your character is. But
No, but that look, to be fair, that is Christoph Waltz being cast, being I feel a little miscast in a role that well Donald Pleasant's pretty much the president for.
what actually, and you know what? Speaking of potentially miscast, I'm gonna bring up another Bond film that was the last of a certain era. Diamonds Are Forever, the last Connery film.
That's a good one.
And like going into it before the first time I actually saw it, I remember being a little nervous. I'm like, okay, can the last Connery film actually stick the landing? And I think they did.
Yeah.
So, and I actually went back and saw the trailer for that thing. That trailer also looked like garbage.
Interesting. Okay,
But
to be fair, it's completely different times. Trailers back then are different, very different from how trailers are nowadays. Um, I did like the Blofeld in that one.
oh
I
yeah,
think,
Charles Gray. There we go.
yeah,
The professor from Rocky Horror Picture Show, and also he was Professor Henderson in the You Only Live Twice.
yeah, indeed. Very very short role, but yeah, he was in that.
Yep. So yeah, like that's kind of my thoughts on that one. And next we have speaking of trailers that did nothing for me, Black Widow. I watched it literally right before we started streaming. I had not seen it because I had no interest in watching it because I'm like, look, it's MCU. Of course I'm gonna go see it in theaters. If I get a screening for it, great. If I don't, I'll still see it. But and I kind of have eh.
Yeah, looks fine,
It
I
looks fun. It
guess.
looks fun, you know.
There is some potential for interesting things, but I felt the tone was very well, very Winter Soldier like, at least the more darker and grittier type of the MCU,
Yeah.
um, which I feel you would need to do with Black Widow. But yeah, there's not much in this trailer where I'm like, this is really something I'm looking forward to. In the end, it's like, fine, whatever, I'll see it.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm at. Cause sure, I love the cast. Florence Pugh looks awesome because she's had a hell of a year this past year. Uh, I really love seeing David Harbour in the MCU because I love Stranger Things. It's good to see that this movie is essentially going to kind of fill in some of the gaps between Civil War and Infinity War, but
That would be good.
you know, but that's all I really need it to do. And if they're gonna try to make it super personal uh, about about Natasha, I don't really need that per se. So
I feel it would be better if we actually see a little bit of the of that team, or at least them scattered, trying to just make a living between the events of Civil War and Infinity War,
yeah,
because there is a 2 year gap between them, and I feel they could do a lot with it.
oh easily,
But yeah, if it's just going to be Natasha, she's never been the most interesting character to me, and I don't know why so many people have been craving for a standalone story about her, because I'm like, she's not that interesting.
Well, okay. In fairness, me wanting a film for Black Widow has more just been, I want to see a team-up film where she's the lead.
Yeah, but that's not what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a straight up standalone movie about her and no one else.
Which has me nervous, and of course, I'm going to go in, no judgment, just excited, because, obviously, has the MCU really let us down in the past couple years? Outside of Ant-Man and the
No,
Wasp? Not really.
no.
I'm in the middle of a show right now, so I have to talk to you later. Sorry, that was my Neff dog. He decided to say hi to me.
I thought.
Yes, hi, dog. All right. But moving on to the next trailer, we have another movie I don't really care about, Ghostbusters Afterlife. And yet, I'm more interested to see this movie than I am to go back to the other films, because it's something different. So, but Case, let's see what you wrote on your whiteboard there. Nice.
I do not give two craps about the fucking Ghostbusters franchise. The first movie is fine. The second movie is just as fine. The remake is just as fine. And I don't think any of them are great or terrible. They're fine. This movie looks fine. I don't really want to see it. So, moving on.
I mean, I'll see it for the cast, but that's about it. Whereas we finally get one that I don't know how they're gonna pull this off, but this story sounds intriguing as fuck. So, the movie's called Antebellum. It's set in the South, but it's not in one particular time. And it sounds like it's this one part of the South that's going to be alternating between modern day present and Civil War era. And the fact that the story is going to revolve around, black characters in a very white setting, and the only difference is in one time period, the white person thinks they're property, and in another time, the white person wishes that black person was property. This is a horror film that involves time travel, and I am interested as fuck. So I there's just something about a period piece with this that sounds real interesting. I have to check this out. This sounds right up my alley. But no, Case, you hear something like this, and I actually could see your interest is a little piqued.
It is. Despite the fact that this is piquing it even more. Okay, so yeah, you tell me the story, and that sounds interesting. Despite it being a horror movie, it sounds interesting. Then I see Janelle Monáe, and I'm like, ooh, I like her. So I might need to check. I haven't seen the trailer, but I might need to check it out, and I might need to check out the movie afterwards. Despite the fact that, yeah, I'm still not really a horror guy. I'm warming up to the genre, but yeah, that sounds interesting.
And what I think is also selling me on this film is that I'm kind of surprised that the people who are making this film are being so ballsy as to make such a daring statement by basically sort of saying that certain people in the United States between the eras of 1862 and now still view the African American community the same way. And it's like, well, you're not wrong. So I want to see how this is portrayed on the big screen. So as we move on to our last two trailers before we hit the big news. We have Mulan. The first official trailer dropped, and again, more hype. This thing looks awesome. Oh, a Disney remake that's going to get it right and, like, surpass the original possibly. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this movie actually has the potential, in my mind, to be better than the original.
Okay, no. um, okay, the thing is, this movie looks very different from the original, which is something that I have been craving from these Disney remakes to make it different than the original. To not just shot for shot do everything the same. To not do fucking like Be Our Guest again, and Beauty and the Beast again, and Arabian Nights again, and all that shit again. It's like, yes, we get it. Those movies were popular, and because of the fact that they were popular, you're remaking them as popular as they were. But it's not as good. The first time it was the best, and it's not as good. Okay, to be fair, I do like Beauty and the Beast, but I do think that the first time that we got the songs from Beauty and the Beast is better than the second time we got them, because those songs from the original are great. This movie is trying to do something completely different, because the original Mulan is a musical. It has music, it has songs, which are not going to be used apparently in this remake, and um, this movie instead is focusing more on the serious side of Mulan, because Mulan, while being kind of serious and dealing with an interesting topic, it's still fun. It's still definitely Disney with the songs, with jokes, with the sidekick, blah blah blah. So this seems very different. This seems like an action movie and pretty badass actually. And I feel that with that serious side and with that badass side, that the original might not give us that much because it's that Disney movie. I feel because of the fact that this is a different movie, it can be so good. And it looks so good because there are some really cool shots of the Huns charging. Like, yes, just that on a full, like a full scale live action screen. Like, yes, please give me that. I think it looks really good, and I honestly cannot wait for this one. This is the first official Disney live action remake. Okay, maybe besides Jungle Book, that I'm legit excited for.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, because you have the ones that I don't like, which are, the Maleficent films, Lion King, and so on and so forth. And then you had the films that I knew weren't going to be good, but I still have a soft spot for, like, your Aladdin, your Beauty and the Beast, your Cinderella. And then you have the ones that surprised me. Your Jungle Book, your Dumbo, and to an extent, I guess, Pete's Dragon, as unfortunately forgettable as it is. This is one of the Disney remakes that I am not only excited by, but I think this has some legitimate chances of truly expanding what Disney can do with these remakes. And if please, this thing can, like, even do more box office than Lion King and Aladdin, and tell Disney, hey, this is what we need to do with our remakes.
The unfortunate thing is, it's not going to make more than Aladdin and Lion King, and the only reason that Aladdin and Lion King made so much is because of the name. Because the name Lion King and Aladdin is just going to get fucking money. And that's unfortunate that those movies are just going to get money, regardless of quality, because The Lion King apparently, I haven't seen it, it apparently sucks. And Aladdin, I did see that, and that did suck, so I still don't get why both those movies grossed over $1 billion. But yeah, that is only name. Mulan is not the biggest name of Disney. While a great movie, it's not their biggest name, and that's why this remake will not make as much.
And
but
yet,
I hope it'll make enough at least.
Same. And yet, you know how about a year ago, you and I were constantly yelling at the Chinese box office because they just kept giving money to Venom and
that's true.
And Aquaman?
Yeah, that is true.
For once, Chinese government, I want you to pay attention here on this one. I want you to listen.
And we know you're watching.
We know you're watching, absolutely. Watch the fuck out of this movie. I want you to give this movie alone $1 billion. Like, I want Mulan to make $1 billion alone in China.
In China, yeah.
Like, seriously, like, you guys love to do your whole forcing people to do stuff. Well, then force everyone to watch this movie when it comes out. Just do that. and then I'll forgive you for
Communism.
exactly. Go communism. Let's make it happen. As we move on to the last trailer, real fast. This one's just for me. So literally, I stumbled across a trailer for a movie called Antlers about 3 hours ago, and holy shit, this thing looks incredible. So essentially, little kid, about 10 years old, let's say, goes around in the woods and befriends a monster. And essentially, it sort of starts to play out like a boy and his dog kind of story. But then you notice very quickly the monster doesn't want to just be friends with the little boy. He is still a monster and he needs to eat. And his friends look mighty tempting to that monster. Cue the shenanigans, cue the fun, cue the honestly scary as shit looking imagery. Kerry Russell looks fantastic. I love the sense of atmosphere. I'm loving the dread that this trailer made me feel. This thing looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very excited by what this trailer had to offer. So, yeah, honestly, I think early 2020 is going to be a good time to be a horror fan with Antebellum and this coming out. Now, of course, you're still going to have your garbage dumpster stuff in January, which you always do. Like, that's fine. But there is still some potential to come out of Antlers, and honestly, the mere prospect of, a boy and his dog movie, but the dog decides to eat people, that sounds fun to me. I want to see this movie. So, all right, Case, I'm going to do my little song and dance, and then I want you to prime me up. So, if y'all know this little number, I would ask you all to sing along. Grab your popcorn and grab your drinks because it's rad time. Case, start me up.
So, 2 major award shows. Because award season is starting. 2 major award shows dropped their nominees. One of them was actually pretty good. The other one, oh boy, I don't even know where to start with this one. But just go by their Best Picture, the SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild Awards in full. They revealed that the outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture are Bombshell, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite, which a lot of people have been raving about. Now, to be fair, I haven't seen all of these movies, but okay, I guess. I feel like I'm missing some, though. Excuse me. Outstanding performance by a stunt ensemble in a motion picture. There's one that baffles me in this one because
I'll get there in a moment.
Yeah, Avengers Endgame, of course. Ford v Ferrari, sure. Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I guess. But then you get the fucking Irishman in stunt ensemble. Huh?
Case, it's not like we're only missing what is arguably the best action movie of the freaking year. Like, oh my god. Okay. How could you possibly leave out John Wick Chapter 3? I can name 5 sequences in this movie that were better than anything in the movies that you presented for the nominations. Like, I'm sorry, John Wick rides a horse, then jumps onto a motorcycle and, uses a sword to send someone flying off of their motorcycle, and it's awesome!
There is a sequence at the beginning, at the very beginning, when people are only just starting to get to him, and he's fighting a couple of, I believe, Japanese guys, and he
Hmm.
goes so slowly with a knife into the guy's eye, and it's so graphic and it's awesome. Like, oh my god, that's in that movie. That is a stunt. That is something that people actually did. And you give me the fucking Irishman, a boring as shit gangster movie that is fucking 3.5 hours long, that has no stunts, that only has some, it has CG
Well, I mean, well,
performances.
you see, Kees, technically there is a scene where Al Pacino does rush another
Get up your
character and he tries to
fucking
fight him. But look, okay, I like the Irishman, but fuck you, SAG. Fuck you. Like,
yeah.
where do you get off trying to give this movie for stunts when, oh yeah, because there's so many stunts in the movie because people get shot in the head and they die. Oh, boo, fuckity who. Ford v Ferrari, okay, fair enough. There's a lot of great driving in that movie, so I'll give you the free pass on that.
Yeah, seriously.
Joker, I 100% disagree. The stunt work is one of the weakest parts of that movie, but whatever, that's fine. Whatever. Of Endgame, of course that was gonna get the nomination. It's Endgame.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
But
No, but seriously, if you look, Spider-Man: Far From Home had more reason to be in this list than a couple of the other movies.
and I thought those stunts were pretty bad.
Huh?
Oh, sorry, no, I
But
was saying I thought those stunts weren't very good.
no, but they were still better than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in Hollywood, besides the fact that you have a pretty awesome end scene, there's nothing in that movie that really warrants stunts.
I mean, yeah, this fight with Bruce Lee. Ooh,
What do you fucking do? Nobody gives a shit.
exactly. So, yeah. Remember when that scene caused everyone to, be in a tiffy, and we've already forgotten that movie came out. But still,
But yeah, with the outstanding performance in a cast by a motion picture, I'm also a little shocked by a couple. Okay, Jojo Rabbit, I haven't seen it. It looks good. Parasite, everyone has been raving. That makes sense. I haven't seen it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, sure, I guess. I haven't seen Bombshell. I haven't seen The Irishman, but I already know that The Irishman is overrated crap, directed by Martin Scorsese, which I won't like. Sure. Who gives a shit? I am honestly missing Marriage Story. I just watched it, but it seriously should be in here, and especially considering the amount of people who've been nominated for Marriage Story, because Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson and Laura Dern have been nominated for the SAG. Why isn't it in cast by a motion picture? That's the point, right? That the cast is great. You nominate 3 of the cast. How is it not in there? Explain this shit to me. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Like, honestly, SAG, okay, 9 times out of 10, you are one of the first awards that I will go to determine who's going to get the Oscar race, because you guys are usually pretty good at predicting this kind of stuff. And honestly, I respect SAG almost more than the Oscars when it comes to their picks.
Sometimes. But
Depends on the year.
Crazily enough, this year, the at least out of the 2 that we have the nominations for, the one that got it more right are the fucking Golden Globes. When the fuck did that happen?
That is insulting. Because the Globes have been a joke since the dawn of fucking time. And yet SAG?
They still get more right.
Yeah, and SAG couldn't get this right. Like, what? What? Anywho. But where did they get it right as far as the nominations go? For the most part, the actor and actress in movie categories, I think they got it 100%.
Christian Bale, Ford vs. Ferrari, definitely. Leo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, definitely. Adam Driver, Marriage Story, he needs to win. Taron Egerton, Rocketman, yes. Joaquin Phoenix, I haven't seen Joker, but I've heard great things.
Yes. Honestly, I agree with all 5 of those 100%. Then actress, you have Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. Yes. ScarJo, Marriage Story. Yes. Lupita Nyong'o for Us. Yes. Charlize for Bombshell. Yes. Renee Zellweger for Judy. I'd maybe swap her out with one other person, but yes.
Sure. Yeah, and then supporting actor Jamie Foxx in Just Mercy. Don't know. Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Supporting? He's in the poster. Isn't he leading?
He's not the focus of the story.
That's weird. Anywho, Al Pacino in The Irishman and Joe Pesci in The Irishman. I always have an issue with two actors getting nominated for the same movie. I'm like, you're canceling out their win.
I mean, unless you're Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the only one. And Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, definitely.
And I think he should get the win.
He should get the win because that would be so deserving for him.
Very,
Considering it.
absolutely. And TV stuff, we don't really watch a lot of TV. Sorry. I'm sure if Nico were here, he could say a few more things. But listen, he's got one more day of classes, then he's done. He'll be back next week.
This is true. By the way, something that is very interesting about the TV stuff, Game of Thrones only got one nomination, and that is Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble Cast in a Drama Series. None other. That is weird, but that shows how shitty Season 8 was. So it makes sense. Oh, wait. Performance by Stunt Ensemble as well.
Ah,
I just see it.
okay. So they got
But
two nominations.
But yeah, no nominations in the acting categories. That's a little weird.
And then we look at speaking of the Globes, honestly, let's hop over there for a minute then.
Well, they got it way more right.
They got it very right, honestly, I feel. Like here, let's start from the bottom and sort of work our way up. Again, sort of avoiding the TV stuff because again, I'm not going to pretend that I know shit. But animated feature film. They've got 3 films that I think belong here.
Yeah.
They got Frozen 2, good. How to Train Your Dragon 3, good. The Lion King. Huh.
This is not an animated feature. Yes, it is 100% CGI, but they advertise it as this is the live action remake. Plus, it sucks, apparently.
Yeah.
So why the fuck is this nominated? Are you like retarded? Seriously, this is mind-boggling. I don't get it.
Kinda. I think they honestly are a little bit. Missing Link. Very good movie. I wouldn't put it in here. And then Toy Story 4, which I surprisingly haven't seen it yet. So no judgment.
No, me neither. But if you look at these, Frozen 2 and Toy Story 4 are pretty much in there because it made a fuck ton of money and everyone saw it. How to Train Your Dragon as well, and that is probably also the reason why Lion King made it, because it made a fuck ton of money and everyone saw it. That doesn't mean it's good. So why it's in there, I'll never know.
Well, you never know with these things, unfortunately. But you know what? And real fast, just for foreign language film, because I've actually seen 2 of the movies here. I've seen The Farewell and I've seen Parasite now. Thank God they're both in, and either one should win. But best original song.
Parasite will win, by the way.
Oh, please. I love that movie so much. Moving on to best original song. We have Ew from Cats. We have Ew from The Lion King. Into the Unknown, which is a fine song, but it's not even close to the best song from Frozen 2. The best song from Frozen 2, hands down, is Lost in the Woods. Why is that not getting a bigger push? Whatever. Stand Up from Harriet. I barely remember the song, but we'll give it another listen. I'm sure we'll get the Oscar nomination too.
Okay, so Love Me Again from A Rocket Man should win.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with that. Screenplay. I'm actually just seeing this now for the first time. And it's Marriage Story, Two Popes, Parasite, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and The Irishman. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm pretty happy with all those picks.
Seriously, Marriage Story 100%. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's good screenplay still.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Parasite I think is a fantastic screenplay. The Two Popes, I've only seen half the movie so far, but yeah, so far I'm already digging that. And while The Irishman, yes, it is long as fuck, and you could cut out maybe 20 minutes of it, and you wouldn't really miss much. Those 20 minutes, I think, are really good for character building. So then that really comes through in the screenplay. So I am happy to see it getting a little bit of love. Best director.
You're skipping original score. Alexander Desplat for Little Women. Fuck. Okay, the one who scored Joker. I'm not gonna try and pronounce his name.
That's fine.
Randy Newman. Randy Newman for Marriage Story. Thomas Newman for 1917, and Daniel Pemberton for Motherless Brooklyn. I will say Alexander Desplat. Well, he's pretty much the composer of the 2010s, so yeah. Randy Newman. Yeah. After seeing Marriage Story, yes, definitely. Thomas Newman. Well, yeah. Like usually he delivers. I haven't seen 1917, but he delivers. And I'm very happy that Daniel Pemberton is in here because he's been one of my favorite composers from the last 2 years.
And
After King Arthur and Into the Spider-Verse, I'm like, yes, please, more of him.
and honestly, dude, the score from Motherless Brooklyn is solid. I did get a screening of that, and I actually remembered the score, so that was pleasant. All right, so now we have the acting categories. I'll sort of
Director. You forgot director.
Oh shit! God damn it! Wow, I did. Maybe. Parasite for Bong Joon-ho, very good. Sam Mendes for 1917, my boy Sam, hell yeah. Todd Phillips for Joker, of course. Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, and Quentin for Once Upon a Time.
I feel like Scorsese and Tarantino are obligatory, but will not win.
Oh yeah, no, neither one will win because, again, I like both movies, but they're not Joker and 1917 and Parasite.
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen 1917?
Not yet, unfortunately.
But I feel like it's going to be really good.
I feel like I'm going to love the hell out of it. I feel like it's going to be everything that Dunkirk tried to be but failed miserably at.
Yeah, because the bullshit storylines that makes no sense.
Right? Although, selfishly, I will admit, I am a little bummed that the Russos didn't get a little bit of love.
Yeah, but that's difficult.
It's fine. Because knowing Disney, they're just trying to campaign for just Oscars and not so much the other awards.
Probably.
All right, so supporting performances. We'll start with actress. Margot Robbie in Bombshell. I've not actually seen it yet. J-Lo in Hustlers. Still haven't seen that yet. Laura Dern in Marriage Story. I'm sure he can agree with that.
I have, yeah.
Annette Bening for The Report. Yes. Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell. I have a screening for that next week. So,
okay. Well, I'll say this: I've seen Hustlers and Marriage Story. J-Lo 100% deserves this. She might even win. She might be my dark horse to win this one because she's fucking phenomenal. And who knew that J-Lo could act? I did not. Laura Dern. Okay, yeah, but Laura Dern, yeah, she's a great actress, period, and she is so good at Marriage Story because you fucking hate her guts, but you're supposed to.
Of course. All right. Supporting actor. Yeah, Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Please win it. Joe Pesci for The Irishman. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if he won.
But also Al Pacino, and that cancels each other out.
Possibly, very likely. Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes. Again, I'm not going to be mad if he wins. And then Tom Hanks for Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And honestly, I wish this movie would stop getting so many nominations because it kind of freaking sucks.
Oh, wow. Okay. I hope Brad Pitt wins it because seriously, he has been acting for such a long time. He doesn't have an acting Oscar yet. He doesn't have a producing Oscar, but I feel that his performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of his best performances ever. Period. And if there's one like lifetime achievement Oscar that you would give someone, it is Brad Pitt for this movie because he is that great in it.
Exactly. And the thing is, if neither Al Pacino or Joe Pesci didn't have their Oscar, then I would say give it to one of them. But
they have it.
But they both have theirs. So now I do feel that it's Brad's turn. It's totally Brad's turn. All right. So now we have best actors for musical/comedy. Start with actress. Ana de Armas, Knives Out.
Yes.
Damn. Aquafina, The Farewell. Damn. Kate Blanchett, Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Damn. Beanie Feldstein, Booksmart. Damn.
Yes.
Emma Thompson for Late Night. Damn. This is stacked.
I haven't seen Late Night, but I've heard good things. But yeah, all yes to this. Like seriously, how right can they get it? I didn't know that the Golden Globes got it so right.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't know who I would take out.
Like seriously, I'm so happy that Ana de Armas was nominated because after seeing Knives Out, I'm like, yes, she was really fucking good in that movie. But I don't know if she'll get nominations because it doesn't really seem like the type of performance that they would nominate. And they did. I'm so happy with it.
Yay! Ugh. And plus, like...
Same for Booksmart, actually.
Yes, very much so. I mean, shit. And hell, Aquafina! Who the hell knew she could act? Because I think she's one of the most annoying rappers of the 2010s, and yet she is proving herself in the acting world. Like, honestly, Aquafina, please, do us all a favor, stick to acting, because you knock it out of the park. Oh, goodness. And actually, you know what? Here, real fast. Out of those 5, minus Emma Thompson for you, who do you think you would go with? Would you go with Anna, or would you maybe sneak it to Beanie?
I've only seen 2 performances out of these.
Fair enough.
And out of the 2 that I've seen, it's Ana de Armas. Beanie Feldstein was really good, but Ana de Armas did something completely different than I've seen from her in the previous movies. But look, she's still going up against Kate Blanchett and Emma Thompson. Those are 2 huge names, and I don't know if she can actually win against them. And you're praising Aquafina, and I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know what there is. But yeah, like I'm hoping for some love for Knives Out, which would just be a huge middle finger for everyone who hated The Last Jedi.
Right. Well, that's why there's a slight possibility for in the actor category where we have Eddie Murphy for Dolomite Is My Name, which,
I don't know.
God, that movie's stupid good. Taron Egerton for Rocket Man, Leo for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, yes. Roman Griffin Davis for Jojo Rabbit, yes. And of course, Daniel Craig for Knives Out. And
yes, I'm so happy about this. I'm so fucking happy.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually want Daniel Craig to take it because honestly, like I was shocked. I was shocked that I laughed as hard as I did watching Daniel Craig in Knives Out.
No, but seriously, I think that Chris Dohmen essentially summarized the thoughts that I and my girlfriend had after seeing Knives Out. The moment that Daniel Craig starts talking with his accent, you're like, I'm not sure if this works. But after about less than a minute, you're like, this perfectly works. I love it. I want to see more of this. And every single scene that he's in, he steals. He is so good in it. And I'm like, I love it. Benoit Blanc it's such a great character that he created.
Plus, Kees, please tell me that you would like go opening night to see a sequel to Knives Out with Daniel Craig as the main character.
Of course.
Okay.
Because oh my god, the movie was the movie was really good, and I felt that it only was not as good as it could have been because of the ending. Because the ending is kind of like the typical murder mystery. We have to now convolute it and make it whatever. But the performances in this movie were so fucking phenomenal that I'm like, yeah. Ana de Armas, Daniel Craig, more could have been nominated, but wasn't. But I'm just happy that we got these 2.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, if you look at his competition, Taron Egerton in Rocket Man is fucking phenomenal. The movie is good at best, but he is beyond anything. DiCaprio is back to the DiCaprio that I like, who is not inching every inch out of his body to make sure that he gets an Oscar and is just enjoying acting because he has that Oscar. And that's why I like him in this movie. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be mad if he wins it with this one. But yeah, I hope that Craig wins it. Because, yeah.
Absolutely. Now we come to best actors in a drama. We're starting with actress Renee Zellweger for Judy, Charlize Theron for Bombshell, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, ScarJo for Marriage Story, and Cynthia Erivo for Harriet. Again. Thank you. This is like
Stacked.
perfect.
It is stacked. Having only seen Marriage Story, I hope Scarlett Jo wins it because she is that good in that movie. But again, stacked. Saoirse Ronan, Charlize Theron, Renee Zellweger, and I don't think the other one, but she's probably good.
No, I think she's fantastic. But yeah,
Oh.
it's a little. I don't know who I'd give it to, and that's kind
Mm.
of what I want out of these nominations. Like I want to not know who to give it to. That to me
Yeah,
is the best kind of
exactly.
you know.
And also, the best thing is when people are nominated and that you wouldn't mind that, like, you want one to win, but you wouldn't mind others to win as well. Like, not that you're necessarily against someone who might win it.
And that's exactly how I feel about the best actor. Like,
Yeah.
Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. Holy shit. Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, obviously. Adam Driver for Marriage Story, obviously.
Yes.
Christian Bale for Ford v Ferrari, obviously.
Yes.
And while I haven't seen Pain and Glory, I'm just glad that Antonio Banderas is getting some love.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've only seen two. I still need to see Joker. I really want to. But yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it. But the two that I have seen, Christian Bale and Adam Driver, I'm like, I'm desperate for Adam Driver to win this one because he was so fucking good. But Christian Bale was also really good. And I feel that the other ones are the same story. Same story. Like, yeah, they're also really good.
Yeah.
So,
And then, of course, we have Best Picture for the Globes, and that is for musical and comedy. Again, you guys actually got this right. Good fucking job on you. For musical or comedy, Rocket Man, a musical. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a partial comedy. Knives
yeah,
Out, a partial comedy. Jojo
yeah,
Rabbit, a partial comedy.
No, that's
Dolomite is
full
My
on.
Name, a partial comedy.
Jojo Rabbit, I feel is full on comedy. I've seen the
Yeah,
trailer for that. That's full on comedy.
yeah.
And I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit yet, but excited to watch that movie because it looks really good from the trailer. Knives Out, yes. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'm not the biggest fan, but
Same.
at least it's a comedy, so at least they got that right.
Yeah.
Remember The Martian and Rocketman. It's good, but it's a musical, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And again, then on drama, you've got The Two Popes. Good job. Marriage Story. Good job. Joker.
Yes.
Good job. The Irishman. Good job. And 1917. Good freaking job, Golden Globes. Again, I feel awkward giving this much praise to the Golden Globes.
To the fucking Golden Globes, because we're still talking about drama and musical or comedy, which are still two made-up categories to make sure that we can only have more movies being nominated and more actors and actresses being nominated. It still makes no fucking sense that you split them up in two categories. But they got them right.
If you're going to do it right. And thank God, unlike the fiasco known as last year, they got it right.
The fucking Martian.
Ugh, fucking Green Book. Bohemian Rhapsody.
I like those movies.
And I like one of those movies, but, could you have gotten the categories right, please? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they should have swapped.
Oh, yeah. And the fact they didn't really irks me. It still irks me to this day.
Green Book is such a comedy.
Oh, yeah, I laughed so much.
And Bohemian Rhapsody has no music in it whatsoever, right? The fuck? and the weird thing is, both of them won. Why didn't they win in the other category?
Where it would have made sense.
Yeah.
Ugh. But no, honestly, I think looking over this, this is actually looking to be I'd say a good indicator of what the Oscar race is going to start to look like. And I think we're going to have, there's going to be some that sneak in there, but I think this is a good barometer to sort of start to put into our minds of what the race is going to look like. And honestly, I'm not mad because, Kees, I think you and I can both agree 2019 was overall a damn solid year for film.
Not yet, but that's because I haven't seen a lot yet. I am still yet to see a whole lot out of these movies because a lot of people keep saying that 2019 is good, and I'm like, that's only because, like, if I look at my list, I've seen 19 movies. 2019, 19 movies. Um, I've given one 5 out of 5. The rest, I think, is good at least, but I've also avoided the crap that came out. I've avoided a Dark Phoenix, a Hellboy, a Man in Black International, stuff like that. There was still plenty of crap in this year that people seem to be forgetting about because, yeah, there are definitely good movies, but I haven't seen those, I guess. But yeah, like, of course, people praise Endgame. I don't think it's that great. It is not even in my top three this year. Um, I need to check my list. Come on, list load. um, yeah, my only 5 out of 5 so far is Ford v Ferrari, and then you get a couple of 4.5s, which I'm like, they're still really good movies, but I'm a little hesitant to really call them that great. Well, Marriage Story most recently, Knives Out, Avengers Endgame, 4.5 still because it is really good, but I have issues. Booksmart, John Wick 3. Oh, now you gotta get to 4 out of 5s, and I'm like, these movies are good, but so I think so far it hasn't blown me away. It hasn't been like as solid as some people say, and that's where I'm hoping that there are a couple of movies that I'm yet to see that are as good. Like I keep hearing people rave about Parasite. I hope it is as good as people say, but my girlfriend didn't love it that much, so I don't know what I would feel about it. The Irishman, I will not watch that movie. I already know that everyone raves about it and I will hate it. And therefore I will not watch it. So those are the type of movies that I'm like, you know what, just stay away from it. Because well, to be fair, it's Martin Scorsese. Out of the movies that I've seen from him, I thought the Departed is overrated. Shutter Island is overrated. The Wolf of Wall Street is overrated. Goodfellas is overrated. Yes, I'm saying this. You can come at me with your tweets. I don't give a shit. But I frankly don't care for Martin Scorsese, and I feel The Irishman is yet another gangster movie, which I've seen time and time again, and I am not going to give a shit about. So I'll stay away from that. But look, there have been good movies, and I am at least happy with the nominations as they are. Could they have been better? I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. We'll see what the Oscars bring.
And that's kind of where I'm at too, except because I have seen a little over 50 movies now. Like I would say that this has been a solid year for film. I don't know if it's been the best year for movies because I think that's still 2015, but
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm not disappointed with what this has happened. And you know what? I see the cool guy. You put in the chat that he feels there are 7 locks for Best Picture now, and
Mhm.
for him, it's Marriage Story, Once Upon
Yes.
a Time in Hollywood, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Parasite, The Irishman, in 1917.
Parasite, I'm not so sure about because it didn't get the Golden Globe nomination, and I feel that
I'm trying to
um,
remember though. Was Roma nominated for Best Picture for a Drama last year at the
yeah, it
Globes?
was, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's gonna win Best Picture," and didn't. So that's I feel what is kind of hurting it. It's a foreign language movie.
And yet,
And
though,
foreign,
here's the thing. I actually do agree with you, although I wouldn't be surprised if it snuck in just because of the actor and director noms. So it's got a shot.
uh, okay, Brian Newsbaum. Endgame is not locked for Best Picture. It
Mm,
might get an outside shot, but I don't think it is a lock. Endgame is good, but Joker is more certain of it.
well, yeah, Joker is definitely more certain. And sure, while I enjoyed Endgame more than Joker, I do have to admit Joker does have a little bit more of a Oscar feel to it
Yeah,
versus Endgame. And uh oh, Roma wasn't even nominated for the Globe last year. Then
not for Globe, no. But that's
so then
but
I don't know.
it, in
That
in, ter- in terms of Best Picture, that's what you're looking forward to, like because honestly, uh, I don't really care who wins the Golden Globe and who wins the SAG and who wins whatever. I care what will be the Oscars. The reason I watch these awards, the Globes, the SAGs, and stuff like that, is because it's precursor to the Oscars. You know that whatever is nominated in this will probably get nominated for an Oscar. So, yeah.
Fair enough. So then I think that actually ought about do it for this news bit. Now, guys, a little bit of housekeeping. So we are actually going to be live again tonight in a little bit to talk about some Schmodown related stuff, but because not everyone has seen Spectacular yet, that's going to be on an unlisted video, and it's not going to be public until after Spectacular 4 drops. But I will be putting that conversation and this conversation together in the podcast feed, just as, essentially, or actually, what case? Should it be 2 episodes or just 1?
2, I feel.
All right, fine. Then never mind. Yep, so then I suppose that ought to do it for catching up on the news of the week, where finally next week we will be back to our regular scheduled shenanigans. And, yeah, that reminds me, next week, it's our Star Wars episode, where I asked you guys to rank the films. I've gotten now about 17 different lists. And I still have to put my own list in there because I'm doing a little rewatch of the movies. I will be watching Empire Strikes Back as soon as we're all done here tonight. And I cannot wait to watch my favorite movie of all time.
Okay, that's your number 1.
Yeah, of course.
That's no secret.
No, it's no secret, and it'll probably be number 1 on the list, as it should be, in my opinion. But with that said, Kees, even though you and I will be doing this about 3 more times tonight, where may the good folks find you online?
You can find me at Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter, Kees Cornelisse on Letterboxd and Facebook. You can catch me and Arena reacting to Schmodown matches and Schmodown Spectacular as well. Whenever the event goes up public, right now you can actually check it out on Patreon. If you go to Patreon, the Schmodown Patreon, and you go to the link where they shared the live stream link. I did share the reactions that we have, but yeah, that's only if you're $10 or up Patreon. And so until it's public, you have to wait. And yeah, we review The Mandalorian and Star Wars Resistance on this channel, and we are coming back with that because right after this, we're shooting our Mandalorian review, and on Sunday or Monday, we're shooting our Resistance review after a few weeks of break. So look out for that.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad for how long we took off from that, but shit happens. Anyway, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, Letterboxd, and Discord at Skywalker Dohmen. You guys can follow this fair channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2A Channel. Please like our Facebook page, join our Facebook group, keep up with the conversation, and yeah, we have all of our recaps coming up. We have all of our reactions coming up, and of course, as we've been reminding you all, I will give you all till next Thursday, when Rise of Skywalker officially drops in theaters here in the States, to get your lists into me. Either DM me privately on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, or just hit us up with however you'd like. You can send me your letterbox links, or you can type it out, however you choose to do it. And one final thing, I suppose, before we head out, I just wanted to say that thank God we're back to doing this, because I really missed all of you. So until next week, for, I guess, our Schmodown Spectacular full breakdown, you know what to do. Take care!
Yeah!
Oh shit, of course my mouse went dead.
Awesome.
And now it's back. Good. Sweet. All right.